I'm Christine from Pack Hacker. In this video, we're taking a look at the Troubadour Goods Apex Sling, which I've been testing for 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So this is a 5.5 liter sling, so it's rather large, and it is made from recycled plastic that then they use to make material. There is also a PFC-free waterproof coating on it, and the zippers are YKK AquaGuard, which I really like because I never do understand when bags, manufacturers make water-resistant bags and then don't put the waterproof zippers on it. So anywho, there are nice waterproof zippers. There are a few accents that sort of look like leather, but they are not. And even the zippers themselves use recycled metal. So there's a lot of sustainability going on around this bag, which is nice. There's a bunch of branding going on around it too, though. We've got it here, we've got it on the back, we've got it on the strap. So just to keep that in mind, it's sleek and everything, but it's there. And then we've got a carry handle with this like grippy underside, which does make it easy to hold, although it's rather shallow. So depending on how big your hand is, it might be harder to get it underneath or not. It's just a nice option for when you want to take it off without, using the strap. You can do that as well. Other than that, there's not a whole lot more to talk about going on around the outside of the bag, but let's move on to the harness system. So the other hardware on the bag is all on the harness system, and we have a Duraflex buckle here, which works really well, and it's nice and sort of low profile, so it's not so chunky. And then we have this swivel clip, which is great because it does allow you to move the strap from one side of the bag to the other, depending on which shoulder you like to carry it over. There's a little bit of a little, it's tight to move, but you find which side works for you. You put it there and you don't have to touch it again, right? We have breathable mesh and a little bit of padding on the back panel, and then the same sort of mesh and same amount of padding on the shoulder strap. And then the shoulder strap, because it can move, it's ambidextrous, so you can carry it on either shoulder, which is a nice option. So I like carrying it over the left shoulder, and as you can see, it does look really nice as long as you have it fully packed. We'll get into that a little later, but it does tend to cave in if you hold less. There's a strap keeper, which keeps things looking nice this way, but the only issue is if you do want to carry it over your left side, if you want to swing it around and reach into something, it's only a one-sided zipper, so you can't do that if it's on your left side. This only works if you have it on your right side. Then you could swing it around, access whatever you need, and close it up. So while it's ambidextrous, you do give up a little bit of functionality if you want to carry it on not the right shoulder, so on the left shoulder. So that's just something to keep in mind. Of course, you could just, unbuckle it and take it off and get your gear that way, but it's just something to keep in mind if you were hoping to slide it around to the front. So because this is such a large sling, it's nice at least that there are a few external pockets to store gear. However, we'll find sort of a little bit of caveats here and there. So this front zipper is a great place for your keys, and they have given you a key leash on a swivel clip. It's really great for the keys. It is also a good spot to put a smart tracker because they have very helpfully put a track with AirTag. Little pocket here for your AirTag. Now, however, that's obviously not very hidden, and it's even labeled. So if your bag gets stolen, you better track it fast because there's a really good chance that thief is gonna find your tracker really quick and chuck it away. But if you're just the type to lose your bag places, then it's nice to know that you can find it rather easily if you slide a tracker in there. Now, I didn't, like normally in a front pocket like this, I would want to put my phone and whatnot, but you will see like I don't have the world's biggest hands and it is a really tight squeeze there. So it's great for your keys, and that's about what I used it for because it is such a tight squeeze. And there's plenty of space in the main compartment to put things as well. However, before I flip around to the other external pocket, I did want to show you, see this material, while it has a lot of structure, which we find on a lot of Troubadour good bags, and I do like. The problem being if you don't have this absolutely stuffed, which I have quite a bit in here, and it was more than I wanted to carry on a regular basis, but it does tend to cave in and then sort of stay caved in like that. So it's just something to keep in mind. However, there is another great place to store things. On the back panel here, we have a horizontal zipper, and this is a easier to shove your hand into pocket. And it's good for a wallet, maybe your passport if you want it, or just some extra cash, because it's against the back panel. It'll be against your back, so it's a little more secure. But again, if you are carrying this over your left shoulder like I do, when you bring it around to the front, these will both be on the underside, so it's not as accessible if you want it on the left shoulder as if you were to wear it on the right shoulder. So if you are finding this video helpful, go ahead and take a second, click like and subscribe for us so we can keep bringing you content like this to help you travel smarter. Now we're going to go into the main compartment, which like I said, it one single zipper. You open it. Now it does have a very nice wide opening, so you can see everything inside really nicely. And there are these gussets, but like I was carrying actually a bunch of letters to the mailbox, and I went to open it and I was just like, they're all just going to fall out. Those gussets aren't saving anything. So again, only an issue if you're like me and you want to carry it on your left shoulder. I don't know why I like to carry them on my left shoulder, I just do, but something to be aware of. However, the gussets do allow you to have easy access and to see everything inside the sling, which again can be quite a lot, which is great. So we'll start here on the front panel. We've got this zippered mesh pocket, which is just great for like really tiny accessories. Like I've got a little cord there. I've got a adapter for the plane, so you can use Bluetooth headphones, and I've actually got some AirPods down there. So that's good to like lock down the little things because it's so big. You don't want to be having to scrounge around on the bottom if you don't have to, right? So then I'm going to move, I've got a packable bag here, and then this is just a mock-up of a Nintendo Switch, just so you can sort of see how big this bag is. Even if you were to have a Nintendo Switch in a case, I'm pretty sure you're going to have no issues fitting that in here. So if you like to game on the go, then it's definitely a good size for that, excuse me. However, against the back pocket, we have some more organization. We've got a padded slip sleeve here for either a Kindle or a small tablet, like an iPad mini. A regular iPad isn't going to fit, but also it lays flat against the back, so if you don't need it, you don't need it. Then in front of that, we have a sort of stretchy pocket. It fits a phone, an iPhone 13, and not just my mini. It fits a standard iPhone just fine. Probably not a Pro, but a regular size, standard size iPhone fits in this pocket. But it also fits a passport, which is really good. So you can slide that in there to have it easy access. And then finally, we have this, it's not even an entire pocket. It is just this little like sleeve, and the bottom comes out of it. You can see my hand there. So it's just, if you wanted to put a water bottle in here, then if this happens to sort of turn on your back or whatever, it's going to keep the bottle, there we go, standing up straight no matter what, which is really great. Obviously, for an internal bottle pocket, you want to be using a bottle you trust not to leak. So you shouldn't have any problems with spilling or whatever. Don't put your coffee tumbler in here, not with coffee inside. But it's kind of nice that it can hold it upright like that. And the thing is it is so thin that if you don't use it, which I mostly didn't, it just sort of just hangs out and it doesn't even really get in the way. It just lays like flat. there against there. And then as you saw, there's tons of space in here. So you could fit like a packable jacket. I feel like this is a great size for like personal item bag for the plane. If you have rolling carry-on luggage, then you pair it with this. It's going to be great because you can have everything that you would want at your seat without having too much. But on the other hand, if you're already carrying a backpack, this one does not pair with it because it's so big on your front and hard to access depending on which shoulder you do. It's really better for a solo bag or to go with rolling luggage because it's almost big enough to be a mini backpack. So there you have it, the Troubadour Goods Apex Sling. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.